Moving on to Telangana now, there is heavy police deployment in Ramayampet from where a mother, Padma, and her son, Gangam Santosh, died by suicide at a lodge in neighbouring Kamareddy district.
Now, the duo had named 6 local TRS leaders and a policeman of abuse and harassment as well as torture, and they claim that that is what drove them to die by suicide. So, a mother-son duo dying by suicide in what's become a big controversy there in Telangana.
And on this, we're now joined by Uma Sudhir. Uma, there's finally been action with 6 arrests on this suicide case and some political action as well. What more can you tell us on this?
All 6 TRS people who were accused in this particular case by the victims, a mother and a son, 65-year-old Padma and 40-year-old Gangam Santosh, who in fact left videos before they set themselves ablaze at a lodge in Kamareddy district of Telangana. They had named these accused and said that for the last 18 months they had been harassed by these TRS leaders. They also named Circle Inspector Nagarjuna, who has not yet been arrested, but he is certainly in the accused list of the in the FIR that's been filed by the police in Kamareddy district. All these leaders surrendered yesterday and they were taken and they have been arrested now by the police. There was a lot of pressure, obviously, on the police as well, because there were protests that were organized in the town itself, in Ramayampet, where they belong, and they were demanding that all these leaders should be arrested. Among them is the municipal chairperson, a civic body chief, Palle Jitender God, as well as the market committee chairperson, somebody called Yadadri, and others, all of them belonging to the TRS, and therefore it was causing obviously public embarrassment to the ruling party as well.
So embarrassment for KCR also. Uma, what was the harassment that they were facing that drove them to this extreme act?
Gangam Santosh and his mother left a very detailed suicide note in which they mention 2 things. One, that he was a realtor, and he says that because of these leaders, he had lost a lot of money and a lot of his property, and the allegation was that these leaders had demanded that 50% of the business that he was running the payment should be made to them. And the second important aspect was, he said that in November of 2021, his phone was taken away by the police on a false charge, and subsequently he says that the inspector had shared some confidential information that was in the cell phone with these leaders, who were subsequently harassing him using that for possibly some kind of a blackmail. The police has not shared details of what exactly this kind of confidential information was, but obviously Gangam Santosh seems to have been extremely harassed by this kind of sharing of confidential information that he says was taken away from his phone. I had spoken to the district police chief of Medak, and she told me that the case was subsequently, slashed down because they did not find any evidence of his complicity, of Santosh's complicity, and subsequently his phone was returned. But now they are investigating many of those details that the mother and son have mentioned in their suicide note, and trying to confirm and affirm what kind of evidence they can find regarding the allegations that have been made.